Alright, part 2 of a visit to Impact Guns retail store. Let's see, I left off with that gun right there. That's a Springfield Xd. I may do a review on that sometime. That's a decent gun, actually. Is it better than a Glock? Nope. Still decent, though. FMP9, that's a nice gun. I think that holds a lot of potential. All the FN guns are pretty darn squared away, if you ask me. Very decent. There's a FMP 45 in the background there. These are guns I've never really been attracted to. These are CZ guns in 40. That's a CZ P06. I just never liked them. They kind of date way back. There's an FN57. You've seen my review on that. Had a multi-part review on that, in fact. Let's look on the wall here. Nice selection of combat shotguns.
But the new that black one was like that.
Mossberg 500. Let's talk about that gun. I don't know if I'll do a review on it. I might. The Mossberg, in my opinion, is a decent gun. It's strong. It's got a good action. It is not as fast, however, as a Winchester 1300, which I kind of consider the Winchester 1300 as a pump-operated semi-auto. It's really nice. This part right here, by the way, is plastic. There's several plastic parts on the Mossberg. However, if you get a mil-spec Mossberg, this will be metal because that's specified in the mil-spec. And if you get that, let's see if they have one. Nope, these are all civilian Mossbergs. Plastic parts. It's a good shotgun, don't get me wrong. It's dual slide, so it's got dual slides. It's, in other words, one of these bars on each side, so it's pretty darn reliable. There's an 870. That's always been a great gun. Still not as fast as a Winchester 1300. I know some of you guys will be saying, yeah, but the Mossberg is the only gun that ever withstood the military trials. You know what, though? Honestly, how many of you guys are going to put like thousands of rounds through your shotgun? Doubtful. And you know what? I have put thousands of rounds through my 1300s, and I just have never, ever seen them bobble. Check this out. This is a suppressed AWC 1022. Very nice gun. It looks and can pass pretty much for a heavy barrel 1022, which is nice. Now, if you guys watch this or in the U.S., you can own this gun. You will have to do a registration, go through the background check, whatever it is. I don't own any of these, so I'm not super familiar with the process. But the price is substantial. It always has been. That's just the price to play if you go with an integrally suppressed weapon. But that is probably, if you're looking at a suppressed weapon and you really would like it, I think you'd be smart to choose this 1022 or something like it as your first weapon. Just because it's so cheap to shoot, it's very useful for like eliminating pests and whatnot. It's very nice. AWC, as far as I know, makes some really good stuff too. There's a NFA, i.e. short-barreled shotgun. These are all probably NFA, National Firearms Act weapons. Look at the price on this Thompson. This is a fully automatic Thompson machine gun. It's very limited in supply. It's just that way. They don't manufacture them anymore. So it's, how you doing? $16,500. Here's a semi-automatic version, and they're smart to place them side by side because they see the price tag on this, then it doesn't make that price tag seem so outlandish. Now I believe, who was it? I think Carr actually is producing the Thompson 1927 A1 version, and they do a very nice job on it. It's a very high quality gun. Is it a gun that I'd ever want? No. It's a very antiquated design. It's very heavy. If you pick up a Thompson, it's a heavy gun, and fully loaded, I think it's, what, around 12 pounds? If you put a drum magazine on that thing, even more. Here's a mini Ozzie, 10,500. You'll see me do a review sometime on a fully automatic Ozzie, I think. I might be able to have some contacts to do that. Very nice selection back here. Here's I think there's a new Springfield they have, the SOCOM 2. And yeah, it's expensive to play with these guns and to get in them. It's expensive. I'm not a big fan of the M1A. I used to be, not no more. I think they have issues. They're hard to mount optics on. They are reliable for the most part. I have seen them kind of throw rounds. They've had issues with wandering zeros over in the desert. You have to get a very high quality mount. A lot of the special operators actually resorted to welding the mount onto the receiver. This one, as you can see, has an optics rail built into it. And the thing is with that is, once you do rapid fire, you can actually heat up this rail. All that heat from this end transfers to your rail and transfers to your optic. Kind of a disadvantage. That's a very good looking stock of that one right there. That M1A. It's got that camo version on it. I like the looks of that a lot. You know I'm a big camo fan. Then we get to I think that's the old Carbine 15 design that now Bushmaster's making. That's a nice design. I haven't really shot one of those, so I don't know. They did have reliability issues, the old Carbine 15s. I don't know if they've resolved them or not. I love how they did that barrel. See how it's kind of a lightweight fluted design? So they're keeping in line with their very lightweight design objectives with that. So I'm glad to see that still in production. Then we got a couple AKs variants there. There's M1 Carbine, the old M1. There's a folding stock Kel-Tec S2000, I think is what that is. Let's see what caliber that's in. It's a 40 Glock S2000 for 300. I think that's a good gun. I've heard lots of good reports on it. Haven't shot it yet, so I don't know. Hey, there's a Kel-Tec. That's the B model. You saw me, or will see me out in the desert with the bottom model, and my favorite, that's SU-16C that I was given to evaluate. A little bit more money, but I can't imagine buying a Kel-Tec SU-16 and not getting the C model. And let's talk about the differences here. You may see, I'll mention this in my tabletop review of the SU-16. Look at the difference in barrel thickness. That's this Charlie model, the C model. There's the B model. See how much thinner that barrel profile is? Not to mention it's not threaded to accept AR-15 M16 flash suppressors. This one is. This is just a thread protector. You just rotate that, screw that right off, and bam, you can put a suppressor on there, of course a registered suppressor, or you can put a flash hider on like that dude's did with his Phantom. Really nice. I much prefer the C model of the Kel-Tec over the B model. It's far and away superior. Here's a couple bolt guns. Remington is my favorite bolt gun make overall. There's a reason why the military has gone with the Remington for so many years. It just works. I think claw extraction is way overrated. If it was an issue, the military would have gotten rid of it years ago. They still stick with it. That means it's good. That means it works. Like this one. This is a shorter Model 700 LTR. 6.8. Check that out. That's in 6.8 cal. I like the fluting on that barrel. Anyways, one of these days I'll get around to knocking out some bolt gun reviews, maybe some tactical shoots. There's the FN. The FS 2000. I'd have to hold that and do a review on it. That may come down the road. Who knows? Maybe someday. There's your Mini 14 rack. I think the Mini 14 is a high value defensive firearm. You'll see later, but I wrote Bill Ruger directly years ago and told him to produce basically this gun. I kid you not, I'll show you the letter sent and signed by him. I told him he needed to come out with a heavy-barreled